everyone, and welcome back to the Future Talks conducted by Prayaana Labs. My name is Chelsea Host, and I'm your host for the day. Now, before we go into the session, I'm going to introduce you to Prayaana. Prayaana Labs is a unique employability, entrepreneurship, and innovative ecosystem for women. Prayaana Labs give wholesome career support services right from career counseling, training, mentoring, and recruitment services, all coming under one umbrella. This is Prayaana Collective. Prayaana Collective is a venture of Prayaana. It is India's first e-commerce platform dedicated to women empowerment. The platform is uniquely designed with an attractive affiliate marketing model where all the customers are given an opportunity for lifetime savings and earnings. So in case you're looking for authentic handmade products, we have plenty of those, and these are created by extremely talented women with a lot of love. So be sure to check us out at www.fretco.com. So in case during the session you have queries, please feel free to post it in the live chat box below. So without further ado, we're going to go into today's session. Today's session is ABC, Adapting, Becoming, and Creating. So this session is going to be conducted by Dr.Suja Karthika, who's the founder and chief trainer at Exceller Training. Now, Suja Karthika is not an unfamiliar face to most Malayalis. You've seen her in plenty of movies and in television shows. What we don't know about her is that she has a Doctor of Philosophy, a PhD under the Faculty of Social Sciences from Gujarat, and she's a gold medalist for her management PG. Has also worked as a former assistant professor at SCMS Cochin, at Marin Academy of Management Studies, and at SCMS School of Technology and Management Cochin. Now she's gone off and founded and is also the chief trainer at Exceller Training. Now I made this profile, then that's when I realized like she has someone who has truly transformed herself over the years. She has adapted and evolved. So who better to talk to us about adapting, becoming and creating than her? Welcome to session, ma'am, and over to you.
Thank you, Chelsea, for that wonderful introduction. I'm a little flattered. Okay, so today I would like to start by saying a big thank you to Prayaana for giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you. I certainly hope that this session will be useful to you. And many of us find it difficult. The situation around is very, very disheartening. And mediums of businesses have changed. People now use online platforms, and people usually find it difficult to talk to oneself, an image of oneself. I don't mind it because I'm a little narcissist that way. I love looking at myself and talking. So first of all, let me say that I'm very comfortable talking to myself. And what am I going to talk to you about today? Now, when Chandra asked me to speak about something, I wanted to talk about something, that I am able to do, or I have done, or I'm trying to do. So I generally don't talk about things that I don't do. Then it becomes very, very hollow, shallow advice, which I really don't want to give. I want to share with you things that I have done or I am trying to do, and then be helpful, as a living example. So what is ABC? ABC is the building block of everything, the first letters that we learn. And I truly believe that these three words that I attribute to ABC can help you ace things in life. So what is A? A is adapting to whatever situation that is around you. And B is becoming whatever you are truly capable of, reaching your your bestest potential. And what is C? Creativity. Creating, I think, is the essence of it all. Without creating, there is, nothing in this world exists. And people generally attribute a lot of mystery to creating. They feel that only artists can create. That's not the case. I want to demystify creativity also. So that is what ABC is, adapting, becoming, and creating. So we'll talk about these three different things. And I am an entrepreneur, but I am a very fledgling entrepreneur in a voice that way. I have started my company Excella Training just last year. So I don't think I am in a position to advise women entrepreneurs or any sort of entrepreneurs out there because I'm ill-experienced. But I can talk about you as an individual. So most of these things that I'll be talking to you about will be applicable to you as an individual and maybe to your organization as well. Okay, so what do you mean by adaptability? Adapting. I'm sure all of you must have heard the term change is the only constant. So this term is, this term was coined, or it is attributed to a Greek philosopher. And he is the one who developed a theory saying that everything in this world constantly changes. And if you look at our natural world, our nature, you can see that animals and all other organisms adapt to the changing scenarios. They have three kinds of adaptability that they do. The first adapting that they do is structural. They change. God creates organisms in such a way that they are able to adapt to the harsh environments around them. For example, an Arctic fox has a smaller ear so that it can retain heat, whereas a desert fox has a big ear so that it can radiate the heat. Okay, so that's structural adaptation that happens. And then there is physiological adaptation that happens in organisms that we cannot see with our naked eye. It's related to their metabolism, the chemical reactions inside their body. For example, leaves having toxins in them to, shun away the herbivores. And then there is behavioral adaptations with the changes in environment. Organisms tend to change their behavior. For example, if you see a bear hibernates. When do it hibernates? When the climate is cold, or you can see the birds and other whales, they migrate to warmer climates when it's winter. So organisms around us continuously adapt because if they don't, they die. And us human beings, we are very, very, very lucky because we don't have to do any sort of structural, physiological, or behavioral to a certain extent. But the only level of adaptation that we need to do is here because it's all in our thoughts. The changing environment and how we adapt to it, how we stay positive, negative during the change in the environment, it's all here. So we are the most lucky. The only thing you need to tame is your thoughts, and you can adapt to any situation that you see around in the world. Now, COVID-19 is a very peculiar situation. It has never happened in our lifetimes, at least. So we don't know the intensity of, a previous pandemic so that we could have been prepared. We don't know. It's a very peculiar situation. But businesses have been facing this peculiar sort of situation for a long time. Changes have been happening so rapidly that, a new business idea becomes obsolete in maybe a week's time or a month's time because of the technological changes and other factors. So if you're a business person or if you're an individual fighting for your place in the marketplace in terms of your employability, your job, etc., you are running a race. Okay, and everybody in that race is ready for winning it. And if you take a step back, somebody else will win. So if you are in the race, you have to keep on running. That is the only choice you have. The environment can change, the scenario can change, everything around you can tumble down and fall, but you have to keep on running to win it. Now, Harvard University a few years back came out with predictions for businesses in the forthcoming years. It said businesses are going to face a humongous change. It also said that the businesses will have lots of opportunities. It also said that with these opportunities, they will face a lot of competition as well. Now, these opportunities, they also said, could be not in the present form that they're comfortable with. It could be new opportunities that would require a change of systems, a change of, business acumen from the businesses. And when this prediction was made in the year 1954, I think it is so relevant even today. And a fourth prediction was added to it saying that if you're a business house or a person, and if you cannot adapt to these changes as quickly as possible, then you wouldn't be able to survive. So how will you survive? How are you going to survive this environment that is very quickly changing around you, be it COVID, be it any other transformations that are happening around you? How are you going to acclimatize yourself to all this? There are a few advices that, not me, with people who have experiences dealing with businesses and individuals have told. The first thing is that you need to be brilliant at your basics, because whatever happens, if your basics are strong, then you can build on it. You can think on your feet, that you can implement elements of design thinking and be proactive and find an opportunity in this change and make headway that way. So you have to be brilliant at your basics is the first and foremost thing that I have to say. And if you know that the Chinese character for crisis and opportunity is the same, which means that in every crisis there is an opportunity, but you have to look for it. What we do is what normal human being, very normal human being who thinks, we are all very comfortable at what we are, and when a crisis happens, you look at only the crisis, and most people whine about it. We don't try and look for an opportunity in between that, because it's the danger or the negatives of the crisis that hits us first. It's not the sensibility to look for opportunities. If you have that sensibility, then you're a very adaptable person. So Center for Creative Leadership in North America came out with 3 kinds of flexibilities that one should possess in order to fight this uncertainty. So what are these 3 kinds of flexibilities? The first flexibility that a leader or a person, an individual should possess is that he or she should have cognitive flexibility. He or she should be able to have different mental frameworks. He or she should be able to find out the different kind of things that can be done in the present scenario and be able to choose one, be able to milk an opportunity in the crisis. So that is cognitive flexibility, to play different scenarios in front of your eyes and choose the best that suits the present scenario. The second kind of flexibility that one needs to have is an emotional flexibility, and this is very applicable to leaders, decision makers. In a family, this is applicable to the head of the family and other members, because you need to understand that unlike you, another person may not be able to deal with change as smoothly as you. So you should have the empathy to understand that people would be finding it difficult to go through this difficult situation, and empathize with them and be with them to accept this change. And then we have the third kind of flexibility, which I think is the most beautiful kind of flexibility, which is called dispositional flexibility, and which says that you have to be positive but be realistic also at the same time. You cannot say that, okay, everything will only happen for good and good will only happen. Yes, good will only happen, but you cannot be in an utopian world to believe in that and not act upon it. You have to base your sensibilities on grounded reality. So your optimism must be based on reality. That, I think, is a beautiful concept, and it's not easy to develop all these things. It takes years of trying consciously to develop these things. At times you will fail, and only when you fail then you know that, okay, maybe I need to be a little bit more optimistic during such a scenario and things like that. So adaptable human beings have a few common things that is applicable to all of them. Okay, so I'll just mention a few of them. Adaptable people usually experiment. Such people are ready to go away from their straight path. They are willing to experiment. In the normal scenario also, when the environment has not changed for the bad, they're willing to experiment. That is one quality adaptable people have. Then adaptable people always think ahead. They always, one thing I realized as when COVID happened was, I had somebody in my life who would always say you should have at least 3 months of savings with you, so that if in some sort of calamity, your family would at least, they would at least eat. And I would also always, not give it much value. But COVID taught me that lesson. You have to think ahead of what is going to happen. You have to plan scenarios. And Adaptable people are also immensely resourceful. You can take away resources from an adaptable person, but you cannot take away resourcefulness from that person. That person would try with whatever whatever tricks and traits he has. He or she will have plan A. Okay, if plan A doesn't work, he or she will move on to plan B. And if plan B doesn't work, he or she will move on to plan C. So you cannot take away resourcefulness from an adaptable person. And usually adaptable people don't whine, they don't complain. It's human nature to do that. But once in a while, it is also good to let out all your feelings, maybe cry a little bit, just shout at the rooftop, and just get it out of your system. So if that helps you to calm yourself and be ready to look at the current scenario from a different perspective, you're able to up your adaptability, then that's fine as well. And most adaptable people stay current. They know what is happening right now. They know, for example, when COVID happened, everybody, most of the businesses like mine, it's a very interaction oriented industry. I have to see the faces of my audience to understand whether they're liking what I'm saying. Should I crack a joke now, or should I make a full out, crack a joke on myself now? Would that help them laugh out a little bit? I need to know that. I judge that from my audiences, but now I can see only myself, which is also not bad. But yeah, but it's strange, it's really, really strange. But you have to be current. You have to move on to the whatever the current scenario demands. You have to move on. Only then can you be adaptable. And there are so are all positive people adaptable? Not really. Adaptability requires another sort of other sort of attitude altogether. So I would urge all of you to have that little bit of flexibility in you, to accept that changes do happen, and let us look at crises uh, as an opportunity to do something. I'm sure COVID must have created umpteen number of opportunities for you. If otherwise, if the life was normal, I don't think. I've seen people painting things. I've seen people cooking different dishes. I've seen kids making, all these art and craft item, people who haven't danced or sang in a lot of years doing all that. So it has created an opportunity. So let us look at that opportunity and be happy about it. So this is not, like I told you in the beginning, this is not applicable to the present scenario. This is applicable to our lives. Changes keep on happening. You are a survivor, you are a fighter, you are a winner only if you can adapt yourself to those changes and come out of it beautifully, come out of it successfully. Okay, so that was A for you. Now I will talk about B. B is becoming. Okay. This I feel a lot of people, especially women, I've interacted with a lot of them, tend to take a step back as far as B is concerned. What do you mean by B? B is becoming. Becoming what? Becoming what you're truly capable of, your true potential, reaching there. We have different impediments to that. The first thing is we are very comfortable where we are. We are very happy with the current scenario. We don't want to do anything to change it. That can be one scenario. Then the life, when as it moves on, I'm sure all of us, especially women, have this issue with taking care of the family and things like that. All that I agree. But are you taking efforts to reach your true potential? So you can be good at a lot of things. You can have multiple talents, but you can reach your maximum potential in one chosen field, ideally. If you're a genius, I'm sure you can achieve everything. In all the talents that you have, you can reach your maximum potential. But if you observe all the greats, they've all focused on one thing that they're great at, and they've continuously worked on it, and they've become the greatest in it. And they're good enough in other things as well. Actors sing, dancers sing, okay, football players act. I saw Neymar and Money Heist yesterday. So all that things happen. But they all focus on one thing. Now, how do you choose that one thing? It may not be necessarily what you are currently working on, or your current profession. It may not be that. You can reach your maximum true potential only doing such things that you have true passion for. And it's a fact. Because when you're doing something passionate, you think about it yourself. When you're doing something truly passionate, you don't care about how tired you are, what time of the day it is, what all chores do I have back at home. You're not bothered about anything like that. You just go and just do it because you're truly passionate about it. So you need to identify that one thing where your true passion lies. But after identifying this, you cannot sit simply. Yeah? You have to be committed towards the cause. The adaptability thing happens there also. Changes will happen. You will be challenged at every point, but don't fall for it. You need to find some inspiration that will keep you pushing and that will make you just propel. That will be the fuel for you to reach that heights of potential that you have in that particular field that you've chosen. And you have to take small little steps daily. It may sound really weird, but it's very true. If you try daily to improve something that you want to shine at, the next day, after the end of the day, you were one step closer to your goal than you were yesterday. But if you don't take these daily steps, you would stagnate and your goal will be somewhere there. Your potential will be somewhere there. So you have to push it daily. I'm not asking you to just push it and, reach your potential in Monday. It's not possible also. You have to push it daily, a little bit, a nudge here, a nudge there, but certainly push it. And then at the end of whatever time period, I'm sure you will realize that you're much, much better at what you're doing and you're slowly reaching your potential. Also, while you're trying to achieve all these, failures are bound to happen, but accept your failures because failures will let you know that what you cannot do. Okay. So when you're a failure at trying, you love something really, really much, very much, and you're trying to do it, but you're not that great. As you do it, only will you realize it, and then you would say, okay, so I know next time I shouldn't try this. So failures are also excellent lessons that one can have while trying to achieve one's potential. Now, saying all this, the last thing that I want to tell you regarding becoming is you have to be confident. You have to be really, really confident that you are going to achieve your potential no matter what. Now, where will this confidence come? All of you say that, okay, this person is super confident. This person is so confident in front of people. But where will this confidence come? Confidence will come if you're doing something that you really, really like, or you love yourself, or if you love yourself. So if you love yourself, you will just love what you're doing. And from there comes the confidence. So either you can love what you're doing or you can love yourself. Either way, confidence will be built in people. And this we can all do here. It's not difficult. All of us, women, men, kids around the world can do this. It's a very simple mantra. Just love yourself and confidence will just slowly come in. If you love yourself, what you're doing is not bad. It's presentable. Let me go ahead and do it. And like that, let me reach my true potential. So this session, I end by saying, becoming is that it's not impossible. The only thing is that you need to clearly identify where your true potential lies and just work towards it consistently. That is the only thing that is required. Through practice, through hard work, through commitment, you can reach there sooner or later. Okay. And then comes the third pillar of what I wanted to say, and it is C, creating. Now, creativity is something that is very, very close to my heart. And I feel very, very bad when people around me say that, oh, you are creative, we are not creative. I have people inside the house who tells me that. No, I'm not creative. Everybody is creative. Now, what is creativity? Doing something slightly differently from what others are doing. Okay, adding your own little bit of spice to whatever you're doing, you're in your own style. That's creativity. So just look at your life, and I'm sure everybody, each and every one of us, day in and day out, doing everything that we are doing, I'm sure you are adding lots of elements of creativity into it. What are artists doing, in fact? How do artists create? Musicians only have Sapta Swarangal to create their music from. Dancers have these Adavagal to create their steps from. So there are really certain plots that a movie maker can create a movie out of. So the basics of creativity is the same. And if you look around you, all the best creations in the world are not discoveries, it is innovations. Okay, so what is already there, just change it a little bit and make it yours. You can't steal. You cannot steal, but you can steal like an artist does. An artist always steals, right? So eons back when I was acting, I would look at my favorite actresses and I would try to imitate them. That's how all of us act. When I'm teaching, I remember my favorite teachers and then the way they did, and I'm imitating and I'm creating something of my own, adding something my little bit of my own. So I'll ask you a fairly simple question. When can you begin to create? A simple answer for that would be you can start creating once you have mastered the basics. Okay, so we are learning how to draw. We have started learning the basic curves, how colors should be blended. I'm very bad at it, but how it needs to be drawn and all that, the kind of pencils we need to use, the kind of brush strokes that needs to be done, all that. Once we learn the basics, once we are thorough with the basics, then what can we do? Then we can be creative. We can do innovative things in how the brush stroke is done, how the thickness of, you can do a little bit of shading here and there. So you need to first strengthen your basics. For the women out there, all of us cook. A person who cook does not mean that a person does only that, but all of us cook because we love to cook. Do we make innovations in a curry that we've learned just now? No. We will master it. We will know. We'll get the basics right. The third time, fourth time you're making, you will put your own things, or you might change spice levels here and there. That is creativity. So creativity is there in everything that all of us do. The thing is, you need to be a little conscious about your creativity. Okay, consciously, you need to say that, okay, so this is what I am presently doing. I need to change this a little bit because, now it's a little redundant. Let me start creating something. And then it becomes a part of you. Okay, so I run a dance school. Or whenever I go for my presentations, I feel that, okay, now this has become a little redundant. Let me change this up here. You listen to a fresh idea. You see a new song where the dance steps are nice, and you would want to incorporate all that into what you're trying to do, but in your own style. So, creativity for me means doing simple little things, but in your own way to everything you do in your life. And slowly creativity will become a part of your life. And when creativity becomes a part of your life will start standing out. Okay, everything you would be doing would be a little different from what others are doing, and that way you will stand out. So if you are a person who can adapt well to scenarios that change around the world, around you, inside your family, within your relationships, within your organizations, and if you are able to work towards your potential on a daily basis, continuously, if you can become what you're capable of, and finally, if you can add a dose of creativity into your adaptability and into your, trying to achieve or trying to in becoming, then nobody can stop you. So that is what I wanted to, discuss with all of you today. Not that, when I was thinking about this topic, I felt that it'll be a little useful to people like me who are trying to improve and trying to explore what we're really capable of. Okay, so Chelsea, I think I'm done. 30 minutes sharp. I'm done. If you have any questions, we can go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. First of all, you changed industries. You were an artist first, and then you became an academician, and now we started our own training course. So, what made you decide to change? Like at each point, what were your thoughts?
Okay, from an artist to an academician, the thought was this. I stopped acting in 2007, and I knew I was not a great actor, to continue this profession till my grave. I wanted to have a profession that I would continue, that I would be able to continue till my grave. I was not as great as Sugmari auntie or Lilith auntie or Ponam auntie to, act till I'm old. I knew I was a mediocre artist, which is a fact. So I knew that, I realized that, and then I thought, okay, what next? I started acting when I was only 15, and I stopped when I was about 21, 22. So I don't think I've given it as much as effort that it deserved at that point in time. I was too young for it. I didn't realize its value then. So then I realized, okay, so I need to, take up something that I would be able to do. And I was a finance student. I thought I'll be a banker. And then I went for for an internship in a bank. And 2 days I was working as a teller. I mean, I was assisting the teller, and people would come and be like, "You are that actress, no?" So I was like, I don't want to do that. Throughout my life, people coming and looking at my face daily and asking me this question. And then I started teaching my fellow classmates in school, I mean, in college. So they told me I have this flair for teaching. My father is also a professor. So I thought, why not? That's how I took up teaching. So once I took up teaching, PhD was mandatory, and I wanted to become a doctor from my childhood. But because I became an actor when I was in grade 10, I had to take up commerce, and my life just changed. So I wanted that DR in front of me someday or the other, by hook or crook. So I decided, okay, let's do a PhD. And research was something that I really enjoyed. I love writing. So I took up PhD. After I took up PhD, I realized that teaching is something that I really, really adore and love, but I enjoy training more. I feel that through your words, if you can bring about an iota of difference in somebody's perspective, then that is the best thing you can do for others. And that gives me a lot of gratification and satisfaction. And that is why I decided to start Exceller training.
Okay. So, but then you must have had a few struggles, right, on the way. Like initially, you were like famous, and then you had to, go and be a teacher.
Yeah.
What were the responses like?
Everywhere you are that no is there. So in Malayalathi parra idu adalle ennu chodikkum. Okay, so I will tell people idu adu thaneyanu idu. I am that thing that you are all doubtful of. But it's just there in the initial 1 or 2 minutes. After, once you start your delivery, they then respect you, or maybe they look up to you for what you have to give them, maybe your content and what you're good at and things like that. They don't judge beyond a point. But while I was a student also, for me, I always tell this to my training classes. For me, everybody used to read a paper called E.T. And the only E.T. I knew was Extraterrestrial, the movie. So I would ask, what is this ET that all of you are talking about? And they showed me a yellow colored paper, which the first headline was GDP falling. And I'm wondering, my God, what is GDP? Because I didn't know. I actually didn't know. So I had to sit down and, read. It was not easy. But again, I used to sit till 4 a.m. every single day to study. I was a very meticulous kind of a student. I had goals for myself. I had targets which I would not sleep until I would complete. So that gold medal is the result that I got, that nobody, absolutely nobody can take away from me till I die. So that is the result of it.
All right.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we have a question. So you mentioned about becoming. So, but in our society, many women face various hurdles to actually become what they want. What do you think about the hurdles from society despite the aspirations that women have?
I think I'll talk about it during my interaction itself. I know there will be impediments from the society. The amount of pressure that society puts on you is immense, but that is where your inner strength should come out. That is where you should stand your ground and say, no, this is what I like and I will be doing it. If you break away at one point and say, okay, I'll listen to what you're doing, then for lifelong you'll have to do that. You have to stand your ground, and you have to prove also. You have to, each day you have to prove that you're getting there. In one way or the other, you're getting there. And once people around you, if they like you, if they see, if they love you, and if they want the best for you, and if they see that you're making these improvements in your life, then they will support you. Otherwise, they don't like you. So you need to take criticisms that are only constructive. People around us, there are a lot of human beings around us who are only bothered about pulling down an individual if that individual tries to do something. So in a society, if you don't want to face any sort of hurdles, you have to do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. Then people will be very happy. But if you say something, if you be something, or if you want to do something, there'll be people around you to pull you down. So you have to close your eyes. I'm sorry, yes.
Yes.
And sometimes I also just ignore. Yeah.
Okay, so what is XLR training?
Excellent training. I used to do training before these induction programs and things like that. And when I decided I'll start something of my own, Exceller is a name that I created. We wanted to excel in everything that we wanted to do. So I've developed some modules which are not, which you don't find from other training firms. I have incorporated my experiences as an artist and as also as a teacher, as a presenter, into a module called Theatrics. So I do theatric skills training for teachers and for other professionals, where by they can improve their presentation skills and a little bit of acting and dramatics, so that the audience, you can catch them and ensure that they are listening to you and they're getting the message well. So that is one module that has become a hit. I get a lot of opportunity to do that module, and we are developing other modules. ABC is an idea that I want to build on. So let's see. It's a very small firm.
Okay, ma'am. So what is your what do you see yourself doing in the future? What is your company's future?
What is my company's future? We want to grow. We want to grow. We want to go to other states. We want to go to other countries. Let this, we want our idea to be bought by all of us around us, and we want to grow. I want to grow. I don't want to, grow like very big. My aspirations are very, very small that way. I want to grow. I want to grow in a way that benefits the society. Money is not. It's very much secondary. I want to grow where I want to have, put these thoughts in people that come across in my life.
So another question that I have is what are the activities you guys are doing? Have you guys closed down on activities, or are you guys still continuing programs?
Yeah, we are. In fact, initially I was a little skeptical of how we would continue, because, like I told you, ours is a very interaction-oriented kind of a work. So I was very, very skeptical. So I started using the social media platforms. I did a video which people have watched. I've never done that before on YouTube. So I did that. Then I got a couple of opportunities to do live motivation sessions with college students. That went fine. Then I realized, okay, this is nice. And of course, Chandra and all, they are inspirations. They keep on evolving, adapting. So I think this is the right time to adapt. And right now, today at 7 p.m., we are starting our session called Excel in Exciting Times, where we are it's a 5-day program for building effective presentation skills. So we have got I'm very excited about it, because we have got international participants. We have got participants from Dubai, Nepal, and all that participating for the program. So around 25 of us are there. So it'll start today and it'll end end on Friday. So that's very exciting for Excella. Yes, we haven't shut shop yet. No.
Okay, so but ma'am, you're at home, and I know you have 2 kids.
I've got 2 kids.
Really small ones, right?
Yeah, 7 and 4.
Yeah. So how do you manage all this, being at home, them, and work? How?
Like I told you, you have to strive to achieve your potential in everything you do. For me, I generally multitask. So I set my targets very, very clearly. I need to get out of the kitchen in 1.5 hours, means I will get out of the kitchen dot 1.5 hours. I'll finish everything. I find time for myself, my family, and for whatever my family needs are. It's not undoable. I'm telling you, it's not. People have a feeling that you won't be able to do it. It's just practice, and it's just more than practice. It's your willingness to do it. You just have to have a strong, very, very strong energy and a very strong willpower to just go ahead and do what you've planned. Things will just fall into place. You try for one day, next day onwards, it'll just work out. That's what I feel.
Okay, so you actually managed to convey to the kids and they understand.
They understand. They understand that it's working. They
Okay.
understand that. So right now they're not here; they're upstairs, and they know that Amma is taking classes. They, they,
Uh,
they know that. So whenever I sit on my computer, they know that Amma's either writing. So till last month, I was writing a thesis. I got my PhD was awarded last year, but for them,
okay.
whenever I open my laptop, it's Amma is writing. So that has changed. Amma is making presentations to take class that they know now. Actually you have to empower your children as well. That they're not like our. I mean, at least they're not like my generation. They understand things very clearly if you explain it to them. I don't lie to my children. Whatever I have to tell them, I tell them the truth. Not. I don't think I've lied to them ever. If they have to sit at home, I tell them the reason for it. So they don't go out now. They're scared, more scared of COVID than I am. They urge me to wash my hands whenever I go out. Amma, where is your declaration? Is all these are questions they ask.
So, like, how do you deal with stress? Do you dance? Do you meditate?
Yes.
Stress, like, you must get stressed out, right? Like, everybody gets stressed out.
Oh,
In that
yeah, of
case,
course. I
how do
get
you do?
stressed. Everybody gets stressed. Uh, Dance for me is not my stress buster. It's something that keeps me alive. You know,
Mm,
for me, the third C I was talking to you about,
mm,
that that for me is the most important. A, B, C is the most important for me. So my creativity is my dance. I compose, I dance myself. I find a lot of happiness and joy. It's as strong as a passion as training is. So
mm,
dance for me is more than a stress buster. I become myself, doing dance. I,
mm.
I that is when I am more of the real me. So dance is that. I
Yeah.
don't meditate. I can't meditate. I don't have the patience to meditate, but I'll certainly try. I watch TV. I watch shows. That is
Yeah.
how I bust my stress. I always, at times, if it becomes truly unbearable, I talk to people. I've got very good friends and family who will sit down and listen, till I pour out all my worry. And then I'm okay. I'm a Cancerian, I love talking and I
Yeah.
love expressing my feelings. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. With that, we come to an end of today's session. Thank you so
Thank you so much. Bye.
much. So, folks, with that, we come to an end to today's session. So now it's time for feedback. So I'm pretty sure you all watched it, pretty sure you all enjoyed it. So in case you have positive, negative feedbacks, please feel to share with us on as a comment in the YouTube channel. And oh yeah, I'm having an issue. Right. Okay, so this is tomorrow's session. It's a session on wellness plans for ladies having obesity, PCOD, and thyroid issues. And this is something I guess we women know this is something a lot of people are facing. So the session is going to be conducted by Mr. Rajiv Ambat Menon, who's the CEO of New Vivo Wellness Clinic. It's also going to be from 5 to 6 p.m. just like today. It's tomorrow. So please make sure you're there. We hope to see you all there. And this is a schedule for this coming week. So tomorrow, like I said, we have a session on wellness plans for ladies having obesity, PCOD, and thyroid issues by Mr. Rajiv Ambat Menon. On Wednesday, we have a session on what it takes to build a successful business and thrive. This is going to be by Payal Najiani. She's the founder of Success is Within Leadership. On Thursday, we have a session on business strategies post COVID. This session is going to be taken by Mr. Baburaj Nair. He's a former CHRO, The Hindu, chief mentor and founder of P2B Consulting. On Friday, we have a session on pain go away, stress and pain matters. Dr. Priyavardhana R is going to be taking the session. On Saturday, we have two sessions just like this Saturday. It's gonna be one is gonna be from 10 to 11:30 a.m. It's gonna be on about 6 critical entrepreneurial qualities live workshop with 6 women entrepreneurs. This is going to be conducted by Mrs. Chandra R. And the second session on Saturday is going to be from 4 to 5 p.m. It's going to be about the paradigm shift from fixed to growth mindset and exercise to your brain. Like she said, we have to, keep adapting, keep becoming, to keep creating. I think this is a session that's going to be like, it'll be more of like a continuous session, continuation from the session. This is going to be conducted by Ms. Rakhi Vijay Nair, who's the co-founder of Vajra Learning Solutions. She's a life coach and a management facilitator, and this session is going to be from 4 to 5 p.m. So, folks, with that, we come to an end of today's session. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget your feedback and do subscribe, like, and follow. So, lots of love. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.
Can I leave the meeting? Thank you.
Thank you.